Hey gang, I'm hitting the road today solo, and ironically thinking about just how tough it is riding without a buddy by my side. I'm thinking maybe this is something we should talk about, so let's dig into it.
My buddy, my buddy, my buddy, my buddy, my buddy and me.
What the actual f***? Hey gang, yeah, so riding a motorcycle is an incredible experience. But it's even better when you got a buddy riding beside you to share the experience with. And today we need to talk about why having a riding buddy is an absolute game changer. Not only does it enhance the overall enjoyment of the ride, but it also increases the safety and provides you with a sense of comfort knowing that somebody's got your back. And by the end of this video, I'm going to explain to you why I think so. When you're riding with a buddy, you can take turns leading, you can share the navigation, or even offer emotional support when the going gets tough. And let's be real here, who doesn't love having somebody with them that you can figuratively high-five or actually high-five when you finish navigating that particularly epic stretch of road? But beyond the fun factor, having a riding buddy can literally be a lifesaver. Whether it's helping you fix a flat tire, providing first aid in an emergency, or simply being there to lend a listening ear on your comm systems when you're feeling particularly overwhelmed by real life, a riding buddy is an invaluable asset to have on the road. From my own personal perspective, I can tell you that lately, having somebody to ride with on the regular has really transformed my motorcycling experience. Not only do I feel more confident and at ease, but we've also made some unforgettable memories along the way. I've been riding for a while, and over the course of time, I've gone through various phases of what I like and don't like, including riding alone. So I can totally see the appeal of jumping on your bike and taking off solo. Sometimes it is the best medicine for you, and sometimes it's your only option if you don't already have somebody readily available to ride with. But nowadays, for me personally, we're a riding family, and at this point in my life, riding is all about mentoring my adult riding sons and sharing riding experiences with them all over again like it's brand new. And more than that, it's about the conversations we have talking about everything under the sun for hours out on the road.
I've had close calls before.
That's why I worry about you. It's like every time you go out the door, I worry about you.
All of my close calls was because of other people.
That's called denial.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter. That wreck I just described to you was because of other people, but it still was partially my fault.
All of my close calls was literally not my fault. No influence in my fault.
Denial! And then there's the added enjoyment when we get to relive those particularly memorable moments when we see them again in our videos.
This feels like Jesus Christ. I feel like something's gonna fall off this bike. This is so bad. This is so bad.
Alright, so on a more practical level, let's talk about what are some of the downsides of riding solo. As much as I love the freedom and independence that comes with hitting the open road alone at the spur of a moment, the reality is it can be a pretty risky proposition. I've lost count of how many times I've gotten mentally distracted or stuck in traffic or faced some other kind of unexpected challenge while I was alone on the road. And every time I wished I had a buddy there to help me out, or at the very least, somebody to commiserate with. Because let's be honest here, riding solo can be physically and emotionally draining if you're riding alone on a particularly long trip. You don't have anyone to chat with or share stories with, or maybe even just get a second opinion when you're navigating unfamiliar roads. I've been in situations where I've had to deal with a mechanical issue by myself, and let me tell you, it's no fun. And when an emergency like that does happen, if you're alone, you've got no support to deal with it. If you break down, you get lost, or experience some other kind of crisis, you're on your own. It can be a terrifying experience when you're on your own, or forced to rely on strangers, or just hope for the best, or better yet, try to MacGyver your way out of some bad situation. For example, just recently we were all out riding and one of our bikes broke down. The engine just stopped responding and would die several times, and it was getting progressively worse. Eventually, it broke down right on the side of the road, on a stretch of road where there really wasn't anywhere to pull off safely. We were incredibly lucky that we had a riding buddy that could help warn oncoming traffic to safely get them around and avoid a dangerous situation, and to help get the bike moved to a safe spot. Having riding buddies in that instance gave us options too. If alone, he might have been calling a tow truck, but we were fortunate that we had somebody that could stay there and keep him company while I went and picked up the trailer to come back and get the bike. And let's talk a little bit more about that accident avoidance, because that's a big one. When you're alone, you don't have anyone to keep an eye out for you, warn you about potential hazards, or help you stay alert on long stretches of road. Having that riding buddy is like having a second pair of eyes on the road. You work together to stay safe. In fact, according to All Tiger's accident statistics, 40% of fatal accidents are solo riders. That's a sobering reality that we all need to face head on. Now, I'm not talking about group rides here, which statistically can actually be far more dangerous than riding solo. And that's probably a video for another day. But here's the thing, riding with a buddy, you got somebody to lean on. And it can be a confidence booster. It's like you're in it together, you know? You feel more capable and more comfortable tackling tough roads and unfamiliar terrain. At least I certainly do. When I'm riding with a friend or a family member, I feel more connected and I just generally get more enjoyment out of that ride. So if you're still riding solo, I want to encourage you to go out there and find a riding buddy. Someone who shares your passion for motorcycling, someone who's got your back, and someone who will be there to high-five you when you conquer that tough road or reach your destination. If you don't know anybody, search online for riding groups in your area. I've always had good luck looking for people that own the same kind of bikes as we do. I own 3 Vulcans and I'm kind of a fanboy. They've always been good to me. So I participate in a Vulcan Riders Forum, and you can also typically find motorcycle groups in your area on sites like Meetup as well. And if you're already riding with a buddy, I encourage you to keep on doing what you're doing. Keep riding, keep sharing, and keep supporting each other on the road. My position these days is that having a riding buddy can be a total game changer. And not just for the enhanced safety and enjoyment, but because sharing the experience creates lasting memories. And maybe you'll even make a new friend or two along the way. So gang, what is your riding story? Do you ride solo most of the time, or do you ride with a buddy? How did you guys get connected? Share your experiences with the rest of the community in the comments below. Maybe even share some online resources that you've found useful. And while you're here, don't forget to check out all of our other awesome motorcycle content. Meanwhile, we'll keep bringing you along for our rides, so thanks for watching, and until then, we'll see you in the next one.
My Buddy from Play School.